Have a pleasant morning to my fellow educators, classmates, and most especially to our EDUC 303 Professor, Dr. Victor Kembal. Good morning, sir. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. I am AISA P. Maligro, a first-year MAED student.
Good day once again, and I am Joy F. Embalzado.
At this moment of time, we are going to discuss with you about perspective planning. Its meaning, objectives, characteristics, steps of perspective planning, and advantages. In my presentation today, I will be discussing with you about the meaning, characteristics, and steps of perspective planning. What is the meaning of perspective planning? Perspective planning is also known as strategic planning or long-term planning. The term perspective means viewpoint or outlook about the scenario of education system. It is designed to accomplish the objectives of the educational institution in this type of planning. Generally, the term strategic means management of army before war. Yes, alam naman natin na yung mga sundalo natin ay hindi yan sila sasabak sa gyera nang walang maparaang plano na ginagawa. So, kailangan talaga ng strategic plan or perspective plan before ka pupunta sa gyera. Kung ikaw ay kagaya ng mga sundalo natin. Kagaya nating mga guro, kailangan rin natin ng perspective plan or strategic plan before sasabak tayo sa pagtuturo. So, kailangan muna nating i-prepare yung mga DLL natin, yung weekly home plan natin, kung ano yung mga topics na kailangan nating ibigay sa mga bata. This is to determine future course of action or foresight education system for a long term. This planning is based on teamwork, vision of the institution to work. Perspective planning is an innovative, continuous, future-oriented, and holistic plan of education system or of an educational institution which is executed periodically for a range of 3 to 5 years. Next, yes, we're going to learn is the characteristics of perspective planning. First, the perspective planning is holistic. It includes all levels of education from pre-primary stage, it means from daycare, to higher stage and to all types of education, formal and non-formal. The examples of non-formal is the alternative learning system of DepEd, which is the ALS. Second characteristics is this planning is prepared for 10 to 20 years. But it is also separated between subsector plans which range from 3 to 5 years. These subsector plans are periodically reviewed. It is related with future trends. It is a long-term planning. And the fourth characteristic is it is a dynamic, continuous process. This planning is a never-ending process. Fifth characteristic is this planning is based on teamwork, vision of institution, creativity, and commitment to work. Sixth is it is a systematic in nature. This plan is prepared sequentially. 7. Perspective planning depends on changing environmental circumstances. And now we will go on in steps and perspective planning. The first step is guidelines for setting organizational objectives. In the beginning of a perspective planning, objectives of the plan are set out. We know that financial, material, or human resources are implemented in an educational institution. Realistic, flexible objectives are determined to improve the institution in the desired direction through this planning. Here, the term flexible objectives means the objectives should be changeable according to the environment. Objectives should be challenging, attainable, specific, measurable, time-bound, and relevant. The second steps is benefits of objectives. Objectives are the base of the strategic plan. It leads to mutual work in the institution. The objectives make the people accountable and motivated towards work. The wastage time can be saved. All actions are systematically arranged and fruitful outcome can be expected. And the third one is the formulation of strategies. The strategy for strategic plan is formulated keeping view on goals and objectives, mission and vision of the organization. Number 4 steps is the strategic implementation. Strategic implementation is a process where the management of an institution implements that strategic plan. All people involved in the plan should give proper attention on its action and to functions with effort. Physical and human resources are utilized at best. Data should be adequate, updated, and accurate. Objectives and strategies should be arranged in logical order. Number 5 steps, monitoring evaluation of strategies. The strategies, tactics, and action programs are periodically judged, monitored, and evaluated to review the desired outcome of long-term planning. Thus, future decisions and action can be improved. Feedback on data helps to know strengths and weaknesses of a program and to determine to who for they achieve the objectives of the plan. Number 6 steps is review of strategic plan. The strategic plan is assessed to make necessary changes for the education system and to adjust its course based on these evaluations. Number 7 steps is at last the desired outcome is found to cope the satisfaction and meet the expectations of the institution. And that's the end of my report. And the rest of the topic will be discussed to you by Ma'am Joy Embalzado. Thank you.
Good day once again, my fellow educators, especially to our professor, Dr. Victor Kiambao. A pleasant day to each and everyone. Let's proceed to the objectives of the perspective planning. We have number 1 objective, to forecast the vision of the future. It aims to achieve future direction through separate and interrelated subsector of the main plan. Number 2 objective, to improve the management of educational institution and the teaching learning process. Let's talk about the advantages of the perspective planning. Number 1, perspective planning is action-oriented. It is implemented systematically. The plan is monitored and evaluated after its implementation. The functions are reviewed in each step for desirable changes. Number 2, perspective planning has created a sense of belonging and ownership of the vision among people of the institution. All human resource is involved in this planning process. Number 3, perspective or strategic planning process gives teachers, students, and other people an opportunity to make choices for development of the institution through a balanced decision making. Lastly, perspective planning gives importance on outcomes. So, this planning helps to equal the needs and resources of the institution. And that's the end of our report about the perspective of planning. Thank you so much for listening. God bless and have a good day.